Hey, first time clapping them pads tonight, getting some real action, getting some real reps. How do you guys feel about it?
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw what we could do. We know what we have to do to get better going forward. We had a lot of mistakes, but we got 2 weeks, and I think we'll be ready come game time.
And Clayton, these receivers, cornerbacks, you guys are really making plays out there with Alec there firing the ball. What was going on there? Of course, I saw a bit of a push-off. We talked about that, but aside from, just basic things where you come up short or something, what do you think happened tonight?
Alex just puts the ball where it needs to be, and we're just out here making plays where we need to be. So the line's blocking well. Everything's just going good.
I was about saying, when you guys see all those wheels kind of clicking into place like they were tonight, how confident does that make you for next week when you actually see some real live competition?
Yeah, it makes us feel really well. I think, like I said, we know what we have to do, and I think once the real competition comes, I think we'll be ready. I think we'll be firing all cylinders when that happens. And
Caleb, you have been an all-star for the wrestling team. Coming out here, I saw you getting some reps there at cornerback. How do you feel transitioning from one sport to another, really succeeding early?
Yeah, it's a little different. Having a lot of fun. I was a little nervous at first. Like I said, we were making a lot of mistakes, but I think now we're getting into the rhythm and we're going to fix those and be ready against our opponents and stuff. And
usually as a wrestler, kind of, you take responsibility for everything, but what was it like for you tonight where, I was about to say, where you got to, and how did you feel like when you saw, I got to jump over, but, you realize that's someone else's job? I mean, how do you kind of let that go, mid-sport?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you just have to have good trust in your teammates. Let your teammates do their job and do your own part. And, no, that's not all about you. Kind of what makes us family.
Absolutely. And how do you guys feel about kind of correcting those mistakes? Of course, if you're going to make mistakes, now's the time to make them. How do you feel about correcting those things, getting in the locker room, watching some video on tonight? What do you think?
Oh yeah, I think it's a good learning experience for everyone, especially since this team, there's a lot of new guys here, so it'll be good. And like I said, once the competition starts rolling, I think we'll go hard in practice and we'll be ready for anything that anyone throws at us.
And Clayton, one more question to you, which is, this might be a young team, but cornerback, wide receiver, that is the one time where, it's been a while since this team has been loaded and stacked at those two positions. How do you feel? You think this can be a pretty deadly team offensively? And
I think we have all the weapons, speed. Height might be the most, lacking part of ours, but I think that we'll be fine. We're going to be just as good, if not better, than most of the teams in the NEC, and I think that we can compete.
All right, and one more question, and now we'll go to you and Mr. Hush. And things get real. It gets more tense as the weeks combine. How do you feel? Next week's jamboree, then you got regular season going. How do you feel moving on?
Yeah, it's going to get a lot faster pace, but we're pretty well conditioned, so we're not too timid to go on to the jamboree in these next games.
What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, I think after this we know what we have to do to be successful these coming weeks. Yeah, like you said, it's going to be a lot faster pace once the regular season starts going, but I think we'll be ready.
Clayton, you get the last call. What do you think?
Pretty much what these two said.
Yeah, all right. Well, hey, I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.